Like when you see women that they're not attracted to you, especially the women you're attracted to, hot women, beautiful women, what you consider quality, at least in looks, right? At the very least, they're just not giving you attraction back. You feel like they look at you, look away, or women are attracted to you at first and then that attraction just goes down. You notice them stop looking and all that. Well, I'm going to tell you the key secret to solving that today here on Core Confidence. Hey guys, Dave with Core Confidence with one of my best, most awesome tips that I use with clients, that I help clients with, and going to help you guys with as well. In order to get more attraction with women, doing something that's totally nonverbal, doesn't even have to do with talking at this point. I mean, of course, we've got to engage and talk to women, but it's really, really powerful. It's a huge mistake that guys make that they don't realize with how attraction works, especially in the modern sense, okay? And with what we're up against in terms of hot and beautiful women kind of having all this power in so many ways in society, and that's driven by consumerism and driven by conditioning and driven by everybody's collective mindset around it, so on and so forth, right? and then understanding how attraction really works. So this is not a why video, this is a how, this is a what to do, really. And so let's dive into it. So here, let's start with the mistake that guys make. The mistake that guys make is that that we all have made, and I've made many times, and once in a while I make this mistake, but I really don't anymore. It's not the way that I think about women, the way that I interact with women on a nonverbal vibe level, as we often talk about here. It's this. The first thing is what I call squirreling, squirreling around, the squirreling effect. I've called it, but it's about kind of if you ever see how a squirrel acts, they're like right. That's kind of exaggerated, but what tends to happen is most guys see a hot woman, they go, oh, right. Look at my facial expression, all this, right? There's all this. She's so hot. Oh, what do I do? How do I get her? How do I talk to her? Right? She sees it all day long. She sees it all day long, and she's used to it. And it's kind of like somebody's like, first time it happens, she's like, here's an orange. Oh, cool, an orange. I've never seen an orange. Taste it, let me eat it. And then she gets more oranges, but she's constantly getting oranges thrown at her. And at some point, she's sick and tired of all the goddamn oranges that are being handed to her. And it's meaningless to her. So what most guys don't understand, that you're now going to understand, is that this behavior comes across as needy and desperate, and oh my God, it's like, oh my God, here's another orange. Oh my God, here's another orange. You might even see a woman go, right, roll her eyes. Or by the time you come up and approach her, you've been like staring at her, creeping her out, doing all this shit. Instead of being a cool, awesome guy who believes in himself, is complete, has a strong self-image, high self-esteem, right, high self-worth, all these things, and is cool around hot women, okay? So it comes across totally differently. She wants to be with the guy that's cool. So the first thing is obviously to stop this squirreling, which is hot women. I used to live in New York, and there was a friend that I had that lived in Queens, and he would, we'd be driving around, and he'd be like, oh, bro, check her out, look at that ass, yo, like Queen style, right? Cool guy, I mean, a good guy, good-hearted guy, but he was just very like, whoa. And it was just that, overly desiring, really. So this behavior has to stop, okay? So what's the antidote, right? Because often it's here what we stop doing. What do we actually actively do if we stop this behavior? What should we do more of, okay? So here it is. What you need to do is actually ignore the women. You need to ignore them, okay? These hot women, okay? How this works is this. Because all the guys are going, here's oranges, 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 right? She's like getting bombarded with oranges. And you come over and you're like doing this other thing, you're like, watermelon. You're like, watermelon. She's like, what is that? And it pops out. Amongst the wall of oranges is a watermelon. It's like, wow, right? And the watermelon is ignoring. Okay, now I'm saying ignoring, I'm taking to a bit of an extreme, because if you're far on this end, you need to like condition yourself to not do this with women, right? You need to kind of go to the extreme to decondition it, because you're going to have this needy vibe, like it's just going to happen automatically. You're just going to go there she is. And you're going to have to start letting that go, right? Being indifferent and even ignoring her. So this can work like this is, you know, if you notice, like you'll notice a possibly hot chick from like 100 feet away. Well, guess what? She's noticing too, and perhaps more. Women are very astute with their social perceptions, right? Their environmental perceptions. And so as soon as you see that she's a possible hot chick, the first thing you don't want to do is she a hot chick? You want to be like, okay, this possible hot chick over there, cool. Guess we'll see, you know? So as you get closer, there's none of this trying to make contact, none of that. It's more like you roll up, possibly not look at her at all. Possibly if you look over, it's just like, you know, you just look over. It's not, right? Look at the difference in my face between and, okay, maybe a little smile or smirk, maybe. So what I mean by ignoring is that. Now, if you completely ignore her, she will notice. And you can, so you got to use your peripheral vision on this as well. See, that's why we have this peripheral vision. And you'll see her looking at, now, again, this doesn't mean you're going to approach her. This doesn't mean to talk to her, but you're going to get attention and attraction. You're going to get that initial attraction in a way that other guys aren't, that are like, whew. And that doesn't matter if you're the single guy in your 20s, your 30s, or 40s, 50s, or some married guys, you know, out on the town shopping or whatever, and then he looks and goes into this mode because he's still a man, right? And is probably not having sex and yada yada, you know, the usual married life for most people. So, so that active ignoring is important for training. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean, when I say active ignoring, it doesn't mean you're always ignoring, but it's sort of like you're looking when you want to look. Okay. And you're not looking just because she's there and because she's hot. You're looking at her because you're a confident, powerful man who, and this is some mindset stuff here, who gets the women he wants, right? Who chooses the women. If anything, they're not on their pedestal, you're on the pedestal. We can do all kinds of different extreme versions of it, but that's the gist of it. So when you're coming from that place, there's nothing to try to get, how do I get her, and all this grasping, right? And we could even come to the Buddhist tradition of desire, this over-desiring, right? This desiring and grasping, and I need, gotta have her. Kind of like the questions that guys will send in, like, there's this one girl, and how do I get her? And it's like, dude, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Like, is it possible you can get her? Sure, but the way that you think to get her is not by pursuing and chasing her more. It's doing a lot of the opposite, okay? And especially if we're talking about being magnetic and having women chase you and pursue you, it's got to be the opposite of all the standard stuff, right? Even if you get results with the standard stuff, if you want to have them chasing you, you can't be doing all the stuff the pickup artists do and trying to get the numbers constantly and chasing her and, you know, aggressively escalating. Again, I'm not saying that stuff doesn't work. It does work, but it's a totally different approach, right? Totally different approach. So it kind of depends on the lifestyle you want to have and the kind of guy you want to be, right? I don't like being that kind of guy. I like being the magnetic guy that gets things drawn to me. And it takes a lot of inner work to shift that over, but I think it's well worth it, okay? So again, actively ignoring, looking when you want, okay? Now again, of course, you have to talk to them. It doesn't mean they're going to talk to you. Will they sometimes? Yes. Yes, they will. They will come approach, especially if you're carefree in your vibe and you're not needy and trying to get them doing any of this stuff, right? We're doing the opposite. We're doing watermelon behaviors, not orange behaviors, right? Not pelting with oranges. We're like, watermelon over here, and we're not throwing, and all the guys are throwing all this energy right at her. Now, even sometimes with really hot women, super beautiful, right? We'll call them the 10s, don't get approached. Why is that? Well, guys are too afraid. So they'll get lots of oranges, but sometimes they take those oranges, they're like rotten oranges, right? They think there's something wrong with them. They could have a desolate dating life, which is all the more reason to approach those 10s, because they could be more desperate than like the 7s and 8s who get hit on because guys feel, okay, they're hot enough, but they're safer because she's not super beautiful, right? Beautiful women sort of can be treated like freaks in a way, and I know people will say, oh, you're so beautiful and this and that, and you know, you have it all and you're complaining. Dude, it's like, it's sort of like being a freak for some of these really beautiful women. So have compassion no matter what, right? Having compassion is a huge, huge thing with interacting with women, especially if they're being bitchy or this or that. Because that energy comes across if you're compassionate and carefree. It doesn't mean you take bullshit or you like back down. But for people in general, it's really powerful. It's been powerful for me. Because when you have your own internal sense of self-worth, and we've closed that loop, this value loop of, if I'm seeking value outside of myself, external, extrinsic, versus internal, versus I'm whole and complete in myself, and you're good, and you're happy, and you're carefree and content, and yes, you're still achieving your goals in life and doing what you want, but, sorry, I got some Canada Dry here. Am I advertising? I feel the need to take a sip. I do fasting till about noon, and a little soda water helps keep the belly full. Okay, so tangent. A little insight in the habits of David Hamilton. So again, remember, this is if you want to be a pickup artist and pursue women, great. This is not the place for you, okay? If you want to be a traditional guy that pursues and chases a woman and buys her gifts and does all that, great, go do that. This is not the place for you, okay? This is for guys who, yes, have struggled with confidence and shyness and attraction. And actually, you know, I like to work with the introverts, but you could be extroverted too. And you want to have a lifestyle, whether you want casual relationships or finding the one, to where you have the healthy power. Just a whistle there. To where you have the healthy power in the relationship. That she wants to chase you. She wants to pursue you. Why? Because all the guys are throwing oranges and they're pursuing. She dreams about the guy that she thinks about. How do I get him? How do I do this? Because all these other lame dudes are texting me and trying to get me to go out. And I'm just bored of it. And this guy's exciting because he's doing it differently, or he's something different. I don't even know what it is about him, right? She's thinking all this. This is really important for this, and it's really, really fulfilling because then you don't have to worry about getting any particular woman, and then you have access to higher, hotter women. Because why? Because all the hotter women are getting chased down. And when you don't do that, you pop out like a diamond, or the watermelon, right? Not the oranges, the watermelon. No oranges, watermelon. Watermelon. Be a watermelon guy. Okay, be a watermelon guy. Don't be an orange guy. If you want to do how we do things here on Core Confidence, okay? Super important, man. Been super important for me, for my lifestyle, for how I want to create it. Because look, I'm busy, dude. I got shit to do. I got you guys to help. I play music. I'm always expanding my business skills, right? I'm expanding in life, creating the lifestyle I want. And for all the time I've spent, that I know you spent thinking about and trying things with women and failing, and even if you get results, you're not happy with it, this is a much better way I've found so that I can do the things I want, which, by the way, goes in alignment with what women are attracted to. They're attracted to the man on the mission. They're not attracted to the guy that puts them first, right? Even if you're in a serious relationship and want to get into that, if you put the woman front and center, she's going to lose attraction like crazy, dude. It doesn't mean you won't be in a relationship. You'll be in an unhappy one where there's no sexual chemistry, no romantic polarity, no masculine-feminine dynamic, right? So this is all important to understand, dudes, brothers, okay? So again, start ignoring more, and it's not being nasty. It's not a nasty ignoring. It's also keeping your attention in what the fuck you're doing in your life, and not like every time you see some hot chick because you're desperate, you're like, it's not that, right? It's not that, okay? So I hope that helps, brothers, okay? And we're done with this video.